Hello caring and sensitive viewers, and welcome to Animal World, our co-inhabitants. Today we are honoring Skeetz, a most remarkable and accomplished cat. He assisted his caregiver, Dr. Rima Morrell, in writing poems and books, and he even composed his own works. Dr. Morrell has always had a great affinity with animals. She is the founder and director of Living Ark Sanctuary, a refuge providing a loving home for farm animals on the Isle of Skye, Scotland. She received her degree in anthropology from Cambridge University, UK, and her PhD in geography from University College London, UK. She is the author of 3 spiritual books about Huna, the ancient wisdom and spirituality of Hawaii. Dr. Morrell now shares the wonderful abilities and contributions of Skeetz.
Skeetz is certainly one of the most conscious beings that I have ever been fortunate enough to encounter. And every time I spend with him, I consider myself very blessed simply to be able to be there with him. It's wonderful. It's almost like being propelled onto a cloud of bliss. We are very, very happy together. My years with Skeetz are very special. Not only has he written some pretty incredible poetry, he's helped me write my own books as well.
Dr. Morrell says that Skeetz in a previous lifetime had been an accomplished poet.
I think it's fair to say that Skeetz is always there when I'm writing. He loves me to write, and he is intensely interested in whatever I am writing. And there he is in a very typical pose next to my computer, just sitting up, contemplative, waiting for me to come back to the desk and begin to write again. And in this photo of Skeetz lying next to my computer, his green eyes blazing like little searchlights, he's waiting for me to finish taking the photo and return to my desk and set to work again. And he will stay there, snoozing by me, very gentle, often pressing his head against me or his head against the keyboard, just being there while I work. And it is such a blessing to have him there because his very presence helps me so much, as well as the wonder and beauty of the things that are inside him that sometimes I'm lucky to be able to express through rhyme.
Dr. Morrell describes how Skeetz was able to share with the world the poetry that he composed.
There was one wonderful evening, it was back in 1999, when I really became aware that there was something very special going on. We were spending the night inside. It was a Saturday night, I remember. I didn't have anywhere to go, anything to do. And so I sat down at my computer with Skeetz by my side. And then these poems started emanating from him, and my fingers started typing on the keyboard, almost like sort of automatic typing. And I didn't know what I was writing. And there was a sequence of 5 or 6 poems, which later became known as the Soulmate series, all about the theme of finding and losing your soulmate and then being reunited again. I've never had a night like that again writing poetry, and I'm absolutely sure that it was Skeetz's love and care next to the keyboard that really inspired me to this poetry. Skeetz's poetry is quite deep. It's not just about the superficial. It's not just about what's going on a day-to-day level. It is about the themes that underlie our sort of human lives. And it is about spiritual quest.
Skeetz's poems were his original compositions and were not modified in any way.
It's very interesting because these poems aren't edited by me. What you see is what I got. and they were inspired by Skeetz. The rhyme was there, the scanning was already there. So if it was my poem, I would have had to write it over many times. But with his poem, he gets it right first time. One of the most accessible poems is a short poem called Hand and Glove, which is all about how God is really love and how to love and why do we not love more. And there's also a little message in it as to how to love more, which is one of the things that makes Skeetz's poems stand out. He tells us not only to love, but also how to love. Here it is here, a very sweet, simple poem.
Hand and glove. Love, love, love. Why do we think about whether the hand fits the glove? The hand just is. The glove just gives. God is love. The hand fits the glove.
I feel very close to the poems, just as I feel very close to my cat Skeetz, because the poems are all wonderful expressions of his magnificent rainbow soul, of which I am so very blessed to be able to share a portion of the loveliness.
When we return, we will continue our celebration of the life of Skeetz, a truly extraordinary cat. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to Animal World, our co-inhabitants. Our program today honors Skeetz, a remarkable cat who was a true poet. During his lifetime, not only did he assist his human companion Dr. Rima Morrell with her writings, but he composed his own poetry as well. Dr. Morrell now discusses another poem that Skeetz wrote.
One of my favourite poems by Skeetz is called The Response, and it is an answer to Rupert Brooke's poem, The Call. Rupert Brooke is one of England's most famous 20th century poets. It describes the longing of his soul for another reality, his soulmate, if you like. I just tapped it out on the keyboard just as Skeetz was lying there very intently next to me, staring into my eyes with his very luminous green eyes.
See how Skeetz replies line for line in response. The following verse is an excerpt. The Call, poem by Robert Brooke, 1913. Out of the nothingness of sleep, the slow dream of eternity, there was a thunder on the deep. I came because you called to me. The Response, poem by Skeetz, 1999. Out of the vibrancy of life, out of the turning of the key, appeared a sign above the strife. I am here, you once called to me.
Skeetz isn't normally a lap cat, but he does love meditations. And when we begin to meditate, he will often come and jump on my lap and stay there for the duration of the meditation. He tends only to go outside for about 1 hour at a time. And in fact, all I need to do is even think about him and he'll come rushing back in through the cat flap with a little yowl, his black tail swishing upright in the air, and then he'll come running up to me wherever I am, and if I'm working on a table, then he will jump on the table and press his forehead against mine and hold it there for several seconds. and I will have a feeling of deep bliss, just like there are dozens of tiny stars passing between his forehead and my forehead. Skeetz always manages to be incredibly dignified, elegant, and refined, and that is fully in keeping with his role as a poet among cats.
Teachers in our lives come in many different forms.
It's so important for humans to realize that we have many teachers, and we don't just learn in schools and in universities, but there are many different sources we can learn from, including, and perhaps one of the most important sources is our trustworthy, loyal and loving animal friends. We can learn from a tree, from a rock, or even just by opening our heart and looking into our cat's green eyes. Every single animal we meet has a message for us, and it is so important as humans at this time in our Earth's history, at this critical time in our Earth's evolution, that we slow down, open up, and take a little time to try and realize what the animal is telling us, what the animal is here to tell us.
Skeetz had a message for humanity, which Dr. Morrell conveys here on his behalf.
We, cats, are conscious, spiritual beings, just like you. Just like you, we deserve to be respected. Just like you, we deserve the freedom to make our own decisions. We are growing in light and consciousness and wisdom, and we have chosen to come to Earth here to help you. You can help us help you by respecting us. We can understand human language, so please do talk to us using that language and just listen for our response. We will give it in a certain way. It may not be in words directly unless you are open enough to understand those words. It may be in a flick of our tail, in a certain type of body movement, in a glance of our eye, in what we do next. Look at our language and interpret it, and you will understand it. But please do carry on speaking to us, and we will speak back to you. And we will be able to have a very rich and rewarding, not only conversation, but also communion then.
What are some of the ways in which we can honor and show respect to our feline friends?
Sacred space is very important, and wherever your cat decides to settle, whether it's on a sofa, an armchair, or outside, that is his or hers sacred space, and it shouldn't be disturbed. Your cat is in that place for a reason, and so it's really important to respect that reason, because your cat is doing some sort of important work that needs to be done in that particular place, which is why he or she has chosen it. And we don't necessarily know why the cat is doing what he or she is doing. And so it is a call for us to trust, to respect the sacred integrity of the cat. Cats don't like television on too much because the vibration is very low. They like healing music. They really appreciate silence. They are doing important work to help the planet, and the more humans help them do that work, the better it will be for us and for the planet. Respect your cat and allow your cat to make decisions with you, and allow your cat to make the decisions about his or her welfare, including where he sits and also how he helps you. Treat your cat as an equal, and everyone will benefit.
We thank Dr. Rima Morrell for sharing the thoughts and poetic work of her splendid cat companion Skeetz with all of our viewers. We join her in thanking heaven for this noble animal who graced our earth with his loving presence. Thank you for joining us on Animal World, our co-inhabitants, here on Supreme Master Television. Up next is enlightening entertainment, often noteworthy news. May your days be filled with ever more abundant love.
For more details, please visit www.suprememastertv.com /AW